That Talk TV, we back again.
What's up, TDT crew? It's your girl EJ, and listen, we are about to jump into Married at First Sight. Listen, I'm really excited about this one because I actually started watching this show on last season. Shout out to Ashley from My Sweet Perspective. She actually put me on to this one, y'all, and I'm telling you that I was hooked ever since. So I decided to check out this season. And y'all, we got to talk about all the shenanigans that's going down. We got to talk about these couples and will these couples even survive? So, of course, myself and my girl Ticah are going to be giving you our thoughts over each and every couple. And then next week, we will come back together and we'll actually have a whole conversation just about everything that's been going down over Married at First Sight. So, if you are watching Married at First Sight, please let us know. Go ahead and drop down in the comments. Give us your thoughts on the initial meetup of all the couples and who do you think is actually going to make it and who is not. So, first up, I'm going to let Ticah tell you about Jalyn and Josh because I think this couple actually has a little bit of potential. But I mean, right now it feels like they're on like like cloud nine, right? But I feel like this is going to be short lived. I feel like there's definitely going to be some tension between the two of them. I do feel like there's something off with Josh. Like he feels like he just comes across way too nice guy per se. It almost feels theatrical if I were to give it a word. But I don't know. We're gonna have to see how this goes. That's just my opinion. But let's see what Ticah had to say about it.
We are meeting Josh and Jalyn. And Josh comes from a home where he was raised by his grandmother and his grandfather because his mother was in prison basically his entire life. He never knew his father, but was introduced to his father later on in life. So he's super close to his grandmother, and his grandmother is definitely going to make an appearance at this wedding, y'all. But with that being said, a little bit more about Josh. He does a great job. He's a contractor. He does roofing, and he said that he made, a decent amount of living. But now it's time for him to find that wife. And we're introduced to Jalyn. Is Jalyn going to be that wife for him? Well, she seems to be super motivated about becoming a wife, about meeting whoever her husband is going to be. She says she's dealt with some bad relationships, and she's just ready to have something that's pure, and she wants to be that man's cheerleader, okay? So she's super excited about this whole relationship thing, y'all. But Jalyn was raised by her mother and her father, who were married, but then got divorced after Jalyn and her siblings graduated from school. Now, Jalyn is a real estate agent as well as a cycling instructor. So she has a very well rounded life, and she loves her family. She's also a part of a twin. So she's a part of the fraternal twins, okay? And you're gonna meet the brother in this episode as well. With that being said, though, even though her parents, even though she was raised in the home with her parents, they got divorced later on, and it wasn't the best thing that she thought that she should be able to see. So now she wants to do something different, and she wants to meet her husband. They're giving us a moment where she's sitting and she's talking to her wedding party and telling them just how excited she is. She also sends Josh a gift and says that she's going to be his biggest cheerleader. He reads this note and he is super excited, super nervous, and even comes to tears when he reads her words, which are really definitely beautiful, y'all. But then we see Josh and his wedding party, and their all groomsmen telling him, "Hey man, you can do this. You're gonna be good. And make sure this is what you want to do." All of the things, the little pep talk that they receive. So anyway, we also see a moment where Josh ends up going and talking to his grandmother. She says how she's proud of him. She's hugging him because she's just super excited for him. Tells him to make sure that he loves her, that he shows her every single day. And we know this is a process because these two people have just literally met each other. So there's no way that he can like automatically love her at first sight. But so far, he's definitely going to marry her at first sight. And so she is escorted down the aisle by her father. And of course, before that, she's able to talk to her mom. Her mom gives her some words of encouragement. Her father gives her some words of encouragement, tells her about the first time he saw her wearing makeup. He told her to go take the makeup off, and now she looks beautiful. Told her about the shortest dress she wore to the prom, and now she looks beautiful in her wedding gown. So there were definitely words of encouragement from the parents on Jaden's side, as well as Josh from his grandmother. And as Josh is in the audience, everybody is like hyped because Josh is not that bad to look at. I'm just saying. So the crowd is like, oh yeah, they're gonna be good because he is handsome. And so, they telling him she's beautiful. So when she starts to walk down the aisle, he literally is almost floored. Like he almost falls to his feet, y'all, because he sees that she is a beautiful woman, and this beautiful woman is going to belong to him. Now, at the reception, they're gonna have this whole conversation. They're going to talk to each other and kind of get to know the little things that they can within the few minutes that they do. And then they're also going to be introduced. He's going to be introduced to her parents. She's going to talk to her father. He's going to talk to just talk to the family, get to know everybody. And she's going to pretty much do the same thing. Well, y'all, kicker is that Jalen's mom, Belynda, is also going to be on Married at First Sight. And so she's going to introduce or invite Josh to the wedding. So now we got two couples that are going to be on Married at First Sight in the same family, y'all. I don't know if they've ever done that before, but this is definitely going to be super interesting. And your girl Ticah is here for it all. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments about this couple, Josh and Jalyn. Do you guys think they'll make it off of first impressions? Or is this a relationship that stands to become doomed? Anyway, y'all, I'm going to give them a thumbs up. I'm rooting for them. I hope that they make it all the way to the end and they find the love that they absolutely deserve.
Okay, y'all. So next up is going to be Rhonda and Pat. Now, Pat is 59 and Rhonda is 63. And Rhonda is extremely, extremely extrovert, y'all. Like, she's just so happy all the time. Like, I love her energy. Like, something about her is just so magnetic. You just feel like she's so genuine. But then we have Pat on the other hand. And I won't lie, initially meeting him, I thought that Pat was like he just came across as a little bit boring to me. I didn't know if this was going to work out. I felt like she was going to be up here and he was going to be down here. Like, I just didn't know if their energy was going to vibe together. But so far from what we've seen, they've kind of really connected, right? They've kind of connected. And these are older people. The older people are like, we don't have time to be sitting up here waiting and all this stuff. We just gonna jump in and do what it do. We need to see what's happening there, because if we're not compatible here, then what's even the point? Like, we too old to be sitting around trying to wait and do all the things, right? I wasn't mad at them about that. Now, keep in mind, if they didn't say any of this, this is just me, right? I'm just saying what I feel like they were saying in their minds. I mean, this is also the couple who has already said, I love you as well. Like, I don't know. I feel like this couple has the potential to possibly make it if we can get Pat to realize that he needs to listen and that he doesn't always need to talk so much about himself, that he needs to, be receptive to hearing and learning about Rhonda as well. I feel like that has been their biggest issue. And I think that once we can get past that or get through that, then this couple might actually have a chance to work, y'all. I don't know. Being that they're older, I feel like people are just not going to take any kind of nonsense. At this point in life, you know exactly what you want and what you don't want. And therefore, it is or it isn't. And I feel like they're going to know really quickly whether or not they're going to go in for the long haul or not. So I am interested to see how this works out. Because to be fair, I don't see a whole lot of red flags with them just yet. I just feel like Pat likes to always say, bringing someone into my wonderful life. Like, I heard him say that so many times, right? So I'm just like, like, everything seems to be about Pat per se. But we gonna give Pat a chance, and we're gonna see how this all plays out. I do kind of want to get a little more with this couple just to see if I can get any vibes off of them. But so far, those are my only critiques about Pat and Rhonda. I mean, as far as their wedding was concerned, I mean, they was getting jiggy with it. Yeah, no. Anyway, they were definitely vibing. I love Rhonda just started running around the thing. I mean, she is definitely giving you like flower child type of energy. So I love this for her. Like I completely love that. But again, I feel like Pat is gonna have to try to keep up with her. And I don't know if he can stay at this high level. I don't know, or they could balance each other out. He likes the stars, the moon, and all that type of stuff. You can see that he talks about space quite a bit. That's kind of his thing. So, and kudos for him for that. But like I said, at the same time, I just don't know if these two are going to be able to completely stay connected for the long haul. Okay, y'all. So we got to move on to Derrik and Meghann. Now, these two are going to be interesting because, for one thing, I feel like we have Meghann who has, been by herself for a while and she's very independent. She is very much career oriented. And then we have Derrik, who seems like he's a little bit different, not as far as not being career oriented or anything like that, but it does seem like he's more lax. It seems like he's more down to earth, ready to have fun type of thing. It was funny because she said the bad news was is that he doesn't like country music. What I love the most about Meghann so far is her mom. Her mom is awesome, y'all. Like I love her mom is just open and honest and just says what she means and means what she say. I feel like we can have like a really good two-step going on out here with her mom. Like I feel like they are just that down to earth, really, really funny family. I feel like you could just get in there and it'll just be laughs. Like they'll be talking ish and all types of stuff. But I do feel like Meghann is very, very guarded right now. I feel like she is not going to have the ability to let her guard down. When Derrik tries to have a conversation with her about her not asking him any questions, she immediately gets defensive. Now, as someone, we know that they do the cuts and all that type of stuff, y'all. And so they're going to be things that we just don't get to see. But from what we saw, and this is just strictly based on what we saw, she didn't ask him any questions about himself. She wasn't being forthcoming. Every time he asked her something, it was like very short answers. Like you could never get more out of her than that. So I don't know, y'all. But anyway, Ticah has a little more insight and she's going to talk about them a little bit more and tell y'all what she thought about Meghann and Derrik. So go ahead and click on that video next and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Talk that. Talk that. Talk that. Talk that.